subject marker in a Swahili sentence. How do we mark a subject in a Swahili sentence? In a Swahili sentence, there is a prefix which marks a subject and which is attached to a verb. So in a Swahili sentence, prefixes, there are morphemes which are attached to a verb, and these morphemes refers or stand instead of a noun or a pronoun. And you can see from this number one. This number one is ni. Ni marks I, which means mimi. So ni in a verb stands instead of mimi, which means I. This is from the examples given here. We have number one, ninaandika. Ninaandika means I am writing. So ni stands instead of I. So in Swahili, this verb just can carries the meaning of the sentence. Like when you say naandika is the complete sentence, is almost the same with the I am writing, because it's almost, we could say mimi ninaandika. Mimi ninaandika is equal the same to I am writing. But because ni represent mimi, because sometimes we tend to omit the subject. So the way to understand that who is talking in this sentence, because the subject is being omitted, because in Swahili we tend to omit the subject in many cases. So we look on the prefix which marks the verb, I mean the subject in that verb. Like from ninaandika, ni marks a subject which is mimi. The same to number two, ninakimbia, which means I am running. Ni stands instead of mimi, marks the text refers to the subject. So tells us that ni, the subject of this sentence, is mimi. The same to nitasafiri, and the same to, which means I travel, and number four, which is niliwaambia, which means I told them. So ni refers or stand instead of a noun or a pronoun in a sentence, in a Swahili sentence. Or number two, let's see number two. Number two, we have tu, which marks sisi. For example, tunaimba, which means we are singing. Tuliwaona, we saw them. Tutafundisha, we will teach. So when these two stand instead of we, which is sisi in a Swahili sentence, and this is attached to a verb. Tunaimba, this is tu stand instead of sisi, which is we. Tuliwaona, tu the same instead of sisi, which means we. Tutafundisha, we will teach, the same. So tu stand instead of sisi, which means we. This is how it works for tu. Tu marks sisi in a Swahili sentence. Then comes number three, which is u. U marks you in singular. We have you in plural, you in singular. And the you in singular is wewe in Swahili. So u stands instead of wewe. For example, unaitwa nani? What is your name? So u stands instead of you, marks you, takes us back to you. Unatoka wapi? Where are you from? So u marks you. Unatoka wapi? U marks you in a subject. So u marks you, which means wewe, in a Swahili sentence. And this is attached to a verb. This is attached to a verb, is what carries u. So u is it takes us back to a subject, wewe. Number four, this marks you in plural, which is nyinyi, nyinyi in plural. Nyinyi in plural. Marks you in plural, which is nyinyi in Swahili. For example, mtanisindikiza, you will escort me. So mtanisindikiza, that's the marks you in plural form. Mtawaambia, you will tell them. So marks plural, which is nyinyi, marks nyinyi. Mlitembea umbali gani? Mlitembea umbali gani? That's marks you, which means nyinyi. So when attached to as a prefix to a verb, it marks you, meaning nyinyi in Swahili. So marks you. Then number 5, which is number term in Swahili, we have a. A marks he, she, or it, which means yeye in a verb. For example, anacheza muziki, anacheza muziki. He or she's dancing in music, she's dancing in music. So a stands instead of he or she in that sentence. Anacheza mpira, number 2. He or she is playing football. So a is attached to a verb as a prefix, but it marks, it takes it is stands instead of he or she. Number 3, alitutembelea, he or she visited us. So a stands instead of he or she, takes us back to he or she. So when you see a in the verb, you know exactly that marks he or she or it. Then comes wa. Wa marks they in a verb. For example, wanakula matunda, they are eating fruit. So wa stands for they as a subject. Wanauza mayai, wanauza mayai. So wa stands for they, which is wao in Swahili. Wanabweka muda wote. Wa stands for they, which is also wao in Swahili. So wanabweka, wanauza. So that wa wanakula matunda, wanakula. So wa has been attached to a verb, wanakula, as a prefix. So because it is a prefix, that wa stand or represent a subject which is they, which means wow. Wa stands instead of wow, which means they. Wa nauza mayai. Wa stands instead of they, which is wow. Wanabweka muda wote. Wa stands for they, which is subject. So you see in Swahili, we have these prefixes which are attached to a verb, And these prefix which are attached to a verb, when I say prefix, I mean those morphemes which are attached before, which appears before the verb. I mean the root of the verb. So those morphemes which appear before the root of the verb is which we call prefix. And we have suffix. Suffix are those morphemes which appear after the root of the verb. So here we're talking about prefixes. We're talking about those which are attached as before the root of the verb, or the verb. So in Swahili, when you see these we see these wa, we see we see tu, we see ni. These, they have meaning. And they stand instead. They tell us who is the subject of that sentence. And these ones, they are very important because they are going to help you to help people when introducing themselves. When you introduce oneself, or when you are constructing a sentence in Swahili, is very, very important to be aware of this subject marker, because without them you will not be able to construct a correct sentence, because these are going to help you to construct a very correct sentence, because they tell, it will be able for you to tell, and for people to understand who is talking in that sentence, who is the subject of that sentence.